Go.
Shoot a flare into the sky.
Hello, people of the internet. It is us, Riders of the Lost Sword, back after 2 weeks because life's a bitch.
Yeah, ain't it?
Life's the beach. Go swimming.
In other words, we were all busy playing Smash Brothers Ultimate.
No, I'm busy dreaming about playing it. I don't have a Switch yet. I'm fingers crossed getting one for Christmas.
But
I also don't have a Switch, but I'm also trans, so buy me one, please.
It doesn't work like that.
It's an actual trans joke.
Yeah.
I had no idea, to be honest.
Buy your trans friends a Switch.
Huh.
But
you learn something every day.
But I think that should go into our news segment about some DLC characters for Smash Ultimate coming out. We never saw it coming. Yes, I did steal your joke.
Well, at least somebody had to.
I mean, as long as it's used on air.
Yeah. Joker has been officially branded as our first DLC character. Not including Piranha Plant.
He's one of my names now.
Fuck it. We can't even count Piranha Plant. That's not even a character.
It is a character. It's been around since Super Mario Brothers.
Honestly,
yeah, but it's like saying the Goomba's a character. They're not. Like, they're characters in the sense that they're pixels put together, but it's not a character like Mario's a character.
But it's also more diverse than Goomba.
Piranha Plant was playable in Double Dash.
No, that's Petey Piranha.
Oh, then never mind. We should have gotten him.
Let me ask. Is it the Piranha Plant that shoots the fireball, or is it the regular Piranha Plant?
Yes.
Alright.
Okay, so what Piranha Plant is, it's kind of like a mutated Piranha Plant where it has abilities of all Piranha Plants in the series as a whole.
So he can get long.
Yeah, he can get long. He could shoot out poison. He could spit out fireballs. I think he might have a smash move where he does icicle bites. Who knows?
I feel like people are going to be using that thing just to beat people with it, to be douches.
Yeah, good.
You know, sort of like we talked about Smash before, sort of like when we talked about just using Donkey Kong and grabbing somebody and just walking off the stage just to piss people off. that kind of thing.
No, it's not going to be anything like that.
But back to Joker.
Yeah, back to Joker. Holy crap.
Loving Persona 5, I am so goddamn excited for this.
Also, because... Okay, here are some other news that you probably didn't know about. Persona 5 is also coming to the Switch.
I saw that. Persona 5 Complete, I think they called it, or Ultimate.
Or let's just say Complete, because Disgaea is doing the same thing with their series for the Switch.
Okay, for reference, we'll say P5 Complete.
There's other Persona news apparently too, because the reveal was right around the time that Persona Q2 came out on the 3DS, as well as Persona 5 Arena has also been delayed.
Oh.
I'm cool with that if it works and Sojiro's a playable character.
There's also...
I will fight with him.
There's also something dark I want to bring up in the podcast.
Oh, no.
Kingdom Hearts 3 got leaked, and I am screaming internally, hoping it doesn't get spoiled for me.
It's going to.
The whole game did?
Yes. Okay. How the story goes for that is some asshole stole 30 copies. That's as much as 310s. Off the back of a truck. While still being put onto a disc. Yeah, he just kind of stole like 30 copies and just played the game and was like, here, have Kingdom Hearts 3, $120. I risked my ass for this. I lost my job.
And I am screaming.
Yep.
As long as I don't get Red Dead ruined for me, I'm okay. I still haven't beat that damn game.
I haven't either because I haven't touched it. I don't know what's up with Red Dead, but it just feels too slow for me.
Oh no, I love the game. I've just been busy with other shit. Like I haven't even touched the online just because I love the single player so much. I'm just taking my time doing stuff. The last few weeks, I just hadn't really been able to play much. Like I hurt my hand, and I can't really do anything for too long with it, or it just starts hurting a lot.
Oh,
That's why I love RPGs.
Like I can't really do anything with it.
okay. I didn't see and make sure that our title card was the right one.
I'm not trying to make like a joke or anything, but like that's really why I love RPGs, because all you need is one hand.
Oh, yeah. Sadly, it's my right hand. So
oh, that's even worse. I mean,
yeah, I'm right-handed, so it's my dominant hand.
Oh yeah, I know how that feels.
So unfortunately, I haven't been able to do much.
And no, I believe Andy, you brought up something that Nintendo had said themselves.
Oh yes, I read this. I honestly can't remember where I read it, but Nintendo released a statement playing into this. Somebody had asked them, why do you have a third-party Persona character in Smash Brothers? And they're like, oh, well, that's an easy question to answer. The invitation got stolen. Stolen from whom? I don't know. Possibly Waluigi.
Yeah. I've seen memes. I've seen memes. I've seen GIFs where on the other side it said "Suck it, Waluigi."
I've seen one where it was Waluigi was walking outside. It just has Joker's head pasted on somebody driving a truck. And it just runs over him. Like, it's really simple, but it was so funny.
I saw another one. I saw another one. Okay, you go ahead.
You go.
Yeah, there you go.
My favorite one is where Joker's dressed up like Waluigi.
I was going to say that one.
I actually have not seen that one.
Yeah. It's Joker dressed up as Waluigi. He shows up at the front door. Mario's there. Hands him the card saying, "Wah." It's like, sure, why not? Go ahead.
The one I saw was King Dedede was actually at the door.
Oh,
and
yeah, it was because, well, that's like Sakurai.
So you're Waluigi, and Joker's like, yes, I'm Waluigi. Wait.
Now I want to kind of update what I had said on our original Smash topic. What, like a couple months ago? Because remember we had talked about Smash Ultimate for a little while because we talked about who we mained and stuff like that. And
yeah.
Tell me that was on the podcast and we just weren't talking.
No, it was on the podcast. It was.
Oh, thank God!
I think it was. Oh man, which one was that?
It was Jesse's pick.
I remember. Was it Castlevania? Because I remember we talked about Castlevania.
I think it was Castlevania.
Yeah, I think it was Castlevania. I would check the video myself, but that would mean you'd be hearing the video in the background. So
that could get Inception-y.
Yep. So no.
To update what I said, just off the bat, Joker's going to be my main unless he is just god awfully terrible. Joker's going to be my main, and like I said,
fighter.
Do the Smash Ultimate attacks? Do they ever involve other characters, or is it strictly like the guy just doesn't attack?
There is no Smash Ultimate attack.
I thought they had like
it's
called Ultimate move.
It's called a Final Smash, and that's only with the character that had gotten the Smash Ball or built up their Super Meter. Well,
I think I said it very badly. Like, let's say Link does his I'm trying to think of a side character. What's her name from Ocarina of Time?
Oh, trying to do like a tag team thing where they where Zelda actually freezes the enemy character, kind of like how she did in Ocarina of Time, and then Link just does like a few sword slashes, and then the guy gets kicked up.
kind of almost like a summon. Like, it's not another character in the match. Like, somebody might just come in for the attack, like an assist in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah. Actually, a character does do that. Does do that in the game.
So feasibly, his final smash could just be an all-out attack.
Yeah.
From Persona 5, you just get a team of 4 Phantom Thieves, and they just all-out attack. That's awesome.
They could, because there's a character in the game called Robin. He's from the Fire Emblem games. I believe it's which one was it? Fates?
I have no fucking clue.
I don't know either, because I've never played Fire Emblem.
I've only played a little bit of Fates, which is the one I was talking about. So his final smash, he summons in Chrom, another character from the same game, and then they just kind of fling the enemy up to the center of the stage, hit him a few times, and smack him down, which is kind of funny because Chrom is a playable character in Ultimate now.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was asking. I didn't know if another character can come in to assist, or if it's strictly just that guy doesn't attack.
Oh, well, he's not the only example. Villager and Isabel do the same thing with the Nooks, which are Tanuki people.
Also, Shulk does hit with his party of people that I have no idea who they are, other than their play characters.
It's Dunban, Ricky, and Fiora. They're all party members in the game. Fiora's kind of a giant spoiler, though. Like, super big.
You've lost me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles is a very long game, and it's like I'd say about 10 hours before the end of the game, out of a 40-hour game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like the last fourth of the game she comes in.
I see.
Yeah, you're still completely lost, aren't you?
Oh God, yes.
Jeez.
I'm just trying to sound like oh yeah, okay.
What I'm trying to say is Xenoblade Chronicles is a good game. You should buy it.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had a way to play it, I'd definitely play it.
Is it the first one on regular Wii?
It's on regular Wii, but it had a remake on Nintendo 3DS. On the new Nintendo 3DS. That's the only one that you can play it on.
You sound like Bender when you said that. New 3DS.
God, can I go off on a tangent before we go into the main discussion? I hate that it's called the fucking new 3DS because you have to go, oh, do you want to use new 3DS or do you want a new 3DS?
Yes.
I mean, admittedly, they could have came up with a better name.
But called the 4DS.
Nintendo's just like, give me your money. You know you want to.
Yeah.
They don't fucking care. It's Nintendo.
But
I mean, how much money do you think they know they're gonna make just from the Joker reveal on Smash?
They've already made their money from Smash. They got enough to make the new console.
Oh yeah, I was gonna segue into that it's not like new console, but I'm hearing next year that they're gonna have an improved Switch coming out.
Oh, already? Come on! I've only had this thing for almost 2 years now, or almost a year now.
I know they said it's definitely gonna have increased internal storage, and they're saying some of the internal components might be updated for like playability. They haven't confirmed that it's going to be like the PS4 going to the Pro or the Xbox One going to the S and the X. But I think they said it's more like increased playability factors, probably overheating maybe. Stuff like that. Screen issues possibly.
Yeah.
So I guess like quality of life improvements more than mid-season upgrade.
Yeah, because just out of the box, the Switch is kind of... I'm not going to say pathetic, but it could have been better because it only holds 30 gigabytes.
Yeah, that's like what? I'm seriously asking because I don't know, like what, 4 or 5 games?
A lot of the games don't even hit 10. It's like anywhere.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But I mean, with 30 gigs, that's still only like 3 games tops, because you still need room for saves and stuff like that.
Okay, to give perspective, I believe the largest game that I have on my Switch currently is Let's Go Pikachu.
Is that fun?
Try to imagine Pokemon Go on your mobile phone.
That's what everybody says, that it's like a fancier version of Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Huh.
But I do believe that it's got to be here somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, most of the games I have on my Switch, they're around like anywhere between 1 gigabyte or 1.6 gigabytes is like the smallest. And that's for Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
I've heard that's a big game too.
Oh, that's also.
Well, I mean, like the game itself.
That's actually a lot of install data. Because I actually have the physical card.
Which is definitely.
Does it taste bad?
Yes, I did taste it once.
Oh my god!
It's why I want to buy like a cheap Switch game, to be honest.
I mean,
jeez. Yeah, the most taxing on the system so far is actually Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's 6.8 gigabytes.
Damn.
And I still have 7.7 gigabytes left.
I mean, we're talking about this, and it's funny, just throwing out examples, because, I talked about Red Dead a second ago. Talking about 6 gigabytes. Oh, damn. Fucking Red Dead on my PlayStation took up 100 gigabytes. With the game and the update for it. It was like 96, 98 gigs.
Well, what are you
it's
trying?
Not Fallout.
I heard Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Which that took up a lot of space too.
Cedal, we're having a little bit of trouble hearing you.
You're leaving the time-space continuum. We need to get a transporter lock on you and get you into the pattern buffer. Yeah, I went there.
We heard that.
Yeah. Fuck.
Try saying something.
Uh-oh. I got a message. Oh, there's a message in the group chat. At least it's not Fallout 76 with 2 different... That is true. At least it's not Fallout 76 with 2 different 40 gigabyte updates, which is very fucking true. But being an MMO, I'm kind of letting it slide because I'm looking at it in the same category as like World of Warcraft or,
right,
online game. Like that game, we could, if you guys have played it, we could do a whole podcast on Fallout 76 because that game is definitely newsworthy.
Yeah, but we should actually try to move on to our main topic here.
Yeah, we've talked about Smash and stuff for a good, 20, 25 minutes?
19, 20 seconds.
I was close. But it was worth it because I am excited for Joker.
Yeah.
I've seen more than enough footage of that. Uh-huh.
Looks like we're going to have to translate we got great. I thought this was going to go on without a hitch, but anyway.
If we didn't have bad luck, we wouldn't have luck at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So, our topic today for Tokusatsu is Spider-Man. What?
The emissary from hell.
Okay, a little bit of a history with this. This is way back in the 70s.
Spider.
This is like about, a year after Go Ranger came out?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it was even before. Yeah, it was before everything. Like, this is like the granddaddy of Super Sentai Power Rangers.
Yeah, this was one of the major staples of Power Rangers getting into America. Or Super Sentai getting to America. Because guess who actually said this was the best idea ever?
Excelsior!
That's right! The late, great Stanley.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, we
never got around to it.
We really need to get everybody here at some time.
We do. Which, even if it's 6 months down the road, we should still do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, just side note, interrupting just real fast. I think it was Live Man was one of the first Super Sentai that he had watched, and he wanted to bring it over here for kids. I think it was Live Man. It was one of the early seasons.
Live Man was either 3 or 4 before a Zoo Ranger. Zoo Ranger.
Yeah, it was definitely, it was before G Ranger.
Yeah.
And something happened, he couldn't get it over here, but he just thought it would be a smash hit with kids, and he would have been right. For all his foibles, the man knew a hit when he saw it.
Yeah.
But it eventually happened with G Ranger, and had Haim Saban behind it, and
yeah,
I think it's Shuki Levy, and the rest is history with that little tangent.
But the thing is, Stanley had actually seen some stuff with Kamen Rider, especially V3. V3 was out by this time, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And when we've seen pictures of Kamen Rider, Spider-Man, they're like, stop! We must not fight. Our grandfathers were great warriors together. And it shows a picture of V3 and Supidaman together.
Man, just imagine like a Japanese type Avengers where it has like their Spider-Man teamed up with like Battle Fever and possibly a couple Kamen Riders, just to make like a weird Japanese Tokusatsu Avengers team.
And you can't have Tokusatsu team without Gokai Silver.
Yeah.
Oh, you always have to have Gokai Silver.
Yeah. Now, let's name some of the differences between Spider-Man of that age of American descent versus the Japanese one.
Well, our Spider-Man is typically bitten by either a radioactive or genetically mutated spider.
Or magic.
Was it magic at one point?
There was one time it was a magic spider.
Okay, you got that one on me. I didn't know that. And, I kind of consider myself a buff. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there's also if we're counting Spider-Ham as well, there's the magic hair dryer.
Is that... I thought he ate bacon or something. Which I know being a pig is weird, but no, it was pancakes. I thought it wasn't bacon. I thought it was pancakes.
It was something weird like that.
Something breakfasty, I thought. Talk about fucking cannibalism.
Yeah.
There's also Spider Chimp, which I forget his origin story, but
it probably has to do with banana spiders or something.
I had a Charlie horse.
But getting back to Japanese Spider-Man here, how he gets his powers is through alien spiders.
Well, it's always aliens.
Yeah.
If it's Japanese superhero, 90% of the time it's gonna be aliens.
Yeah. Oh my god! Just imagine, that ancient aliens guy, and it's like Japanese Spider-Man, just like aliens.
Okay, and
I mean, it looks funny in my head. I just imagine what you said, but instead of that guy, it's J. Jonah Jameson. Fucking cigar hanging out of his mouth.
Okay, so now let's move on to the web shooters. We're going from smallest to largest here. So the web shooters, for American Spider-Man, he had two. They were kind of compact, only went around the wrist of both hands. Had cartridges for them. They were either flat or some kind of capsule thing that went into his arm. I don't know. I blame the 90s Spider-Man. What was that?
And depending on continuity, they also auto-chain.
Yeah.
See, I can actually see that as something Spider-Man would come up with. Like, because how many times you'd briefly mentioned the cartoon, the 90s cartoon. How many times did you hear this line? Oh no! I'm out of web fluid! What a bad time! Do you think after a minute he'd be like, maybe I can invent like a machine gun barrel?
Yeah.
Not a barrel. Drum. Some kind of drum, where he wraps them around his wrist and it's like, it just reloads. I never understood why he didn't do that in that show.
I mean, there's also, from like early 2000s Spider-Man comics, like, oh my god, but
where they did it to match the movie?
He got organic web shooters, but he got it from a kiss from a weird spider mutant demon thing.
Yeah, that was fucking weird. I remember that.
But but you can't forget about the Sam Raimi movie.
Unforgettable cameos by Bruce Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
There's also, zombie Spider-Man using his own veins as webs, because that's how science is.
That's a whole sad subject.
And then our Spider-Man, the Japanese Spider-Man, he only has one web shooter. It's on his left hand, and it has two settings: string and net. And it's also a communication device.
It's all Japanese Spider-Man needs.
I also think there was I thought there was a third one where it was like where he was able to actually swing.
Yeah, probably. Well, that goes with string.
I mean, they really could have called it something else because,
Now, wasn't the whole device, wasn't that called the Marveler? Or was the robot called the Marveler and it transformed into Leopard?
I should actually be looking this up.
Or was it the car? Didn't he have a car?
He has a bike.
I think it was... Yeah, yes, there is a car that docks into the robot because...
Maybe that's the Marveler. Look,
Alright, let's look this up. Uh-oh.
Christmas shopping with my girlfriend. All day.
I had an asthma attack, so I'm kind of all...
let's see here. Japanese Spider-Man's equipment was the Spider Protector. It's pretty much his entire suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember it would pop out like some of the old Ranger outfits. Like it'd kind of pop out.
Know what the funny thing about the first transformation is?
What's that?
He activates it. Somebody zips it up for him. He's like, "Whoa, where did the suit come from?" It was his own hand.
Honestly, there's a lot of other Toku heroes have also taken inspiration. I think because Zubat, can't remember what his full title was, but Zubat also has a little inspiration from that popping out thing.
I can tell you his full title: most annoying Pokemon ever.
Some other equipment is the Spider Bracelet. That's the web shooter that he has. That's able to summon the GP7 and the Marveler, which turns into the Leopardon.
Okay.
And of course, it has two settings that, like I said before, Spider Strings and Spider Net. And that's about it.
It was old school, man. It was back in the day. They didn't have.
Yeah. Okay, now, before we get onto Leopardo and how cool of a giant robot that is, we gotta go into some production history with it because it's kind of important. After the first episode was shot, somebody went and stole the suit.
And it has never been found.
It has never been found.
You know, I heard that there's this really famous thief. I'm trying to think of his name. Lupin? He goes around stealing stuff from all over the world.
Oh, actually, it says right here on the Wikipedia page, due to structural problems, the Leopardon suit was difficult for the stuntman to move in, and during the course of the series, the suit was damaged and later lost. As a result, all future fight scenes with Leopardon could only be made using stock footage of previous fights.
But I mean, if you kind of think about it, that's not that different than what we got for like the first half of season 2 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We had that real choppy, cut together fight. You know what I'm like. You'd see the Megazord swing, and then it'd be a completely different like thing, and you'd never actually see the impact. It just the monster would take damage.
Yeah.
That's just kind of seems similar to me. That was terrible. Man, my stuff's just falling flat tonight. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not bringing my A game. I'm trying.
I'm not bringing my A game either.
I was about to go to sleep. So. Yeah, and of course, we should also bring up that the guy's not named Peter Parker.
Well, being a Japanese show, I honestly can't remember his name.
Takuya Yamashiro. 22-year-old motocross racer.
I remembered he was a motocross racer.
And he was on good terms with his dad before he died.
Yeah.
But because of that, he didn't learn with great power comes great responsibility.
I think he kind of did.
Probably did.
He learned the power of revenge.
Yep.
You kind of broke up on my side over there, Cedal.
Oh, it was on mine too.
He learned the power of revenge.
He learned the power of revenge?
Yeah, through the instead of great power was great responsibility. I heard that part, I think.
So it almost sounds like he's the Punisher.
Yeah.
Season 2 coming next year.
I thought it was coming never.
No, it's coming next year. I think it's March, maybe? It's like earlier next year.
There actually is a what-if story of where Peter Parker actually becomes the Punisher.
Really? I haven't read it, but I could see it.
Yeah, and okay, some other interesting facts about Japanese Spider-Man is that he had no signature finishing move or weapon.
Oh, he had a signature weapon. It was called a fucking machine gun.
Yeah. He just shot motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I did like how they compound just Tokusatsu always has like flashy moves. It's like the Ginyu Force from DBZ kind of took that to an extreme.
Yeah.
And I love how they compound how Marvel drew Spider-Man in the comics very acrobatically, and they compound how that looked with his poses to make him kind of look like our Spider. Like it seemed in a thing of its own.
Yeah.
It's just little things, I notice little things. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, it even says right here when Spider-Man faces the enemy in each episode, he introduces himself while performing a dramatic pose.
Yeah.
A tradition adapted in subsequent Super Sentai shows.
Yeah.
And this usually also is followed by some background music of the Spider-Man theme.
Which is, probably where Sentai got that idea from. Because, I mean, it's in every season. But, I mean, it's sort of it's a trope. It's a staple,
Yeah.
You do the roll call, you get the music, you get an explosion. And the more Rangers, the bigger the explosion.
Yeah. That's because the morphing grid is overloading.
Yep.
No, they're just farting.
And then you get the 199 hero battle, and there's just a nuke dropped.
So at least Dynaman uses theirs to their advantage.
Yeah, the baseball team.
Oh yeah, they were supposed to be a baseball team, weren't they?
Yeah, and was actually supposed to be one of the first Power Rangers shows to be brought over, and actually got dubbed.
Why? Yeah, because I know there was a couple. The only one I knew off the top of my head was that Bioman dub.
Yeah, but there's actually a Dynaman dub.
And it's up on Verve. Not sponsored.
Was that the one that came on that comical channel?
Yeah, it's very comical. It's very cringeworthy and stuff. And okay, this is gonna be a plug-in. It's on Verve.
I just said that.
I'm gonna make that commercial. I swear to God, I have everything to do with it. I'm gonna make it.
Sponsor Verve. We're desperate.
We don't have much fans, but I put this thing everywhere.
We're trying, damn it. We're trying.
We love you, Verve-sama. Even though you got rid of Funimation, we still love you.
Actually, that was on Funimation's side.
Oh, right. I'm an idiot.
Funimation was like, yeah, we were thinking long-term, and Verve just wasn't helping us support our long-term thinking, so we dropped them. I'm not sure if you people heard that head smack, but it just means I gotta spend an extra $10 for another service.
And then Disney has their own service, and then CW has their own service, and just
DC has one. Yeah. I refuse to. I can't buy a service for one show. That's why I'm not buying DC. Was it All Access? I'm not buying CBS All Access, even though I might by the end of next year, because there's going to be about 4 shows I want to watch, but I can't buy it for just one show.
Yeah.
So is this all we can say about Toku Spider-Man?
Yes, go watch it, please. We beg you. Also, buy me the toy.
Don't sound too...
I'm obviously joking, but
I know. It's just I'm trying to think of a word. Like you really wouldn't say it. You're just like, and also buy me the toys. I just couldn't. I got to the end and I couldn't think of the fucking word I wanted to use, and I just lost it.
All right, on to our second topic of tonight: Lupin the Third and the Castle of Cagliostro.
I'm going to say this right up front. I actually found it on Kiss Anime because I'm a weirdo.
It's on Netflix.
And I don't have Netflix. I'm just kind of a shit person right now.
Netflix. Hell, I'd let you use mine if I known you didn't have it.
Okay, so actually, let me get something a little bit straight here. It's okay to be watching stuff from Kiss Anime, Kiss Asian, what have you. But here's the thing. I mean, yes, having those streaming sites does make you feel like you're actually helping out the anime or whatever it is community. But a lot of the time, that money just goes up in the air, up in smoke. Doesn't go to where you think it's going to go.
I mean, I only really use them if there's no other real choice, but at the same time, they sometimes run better on my phone, and I can't help that.
And Well, and here are some other things. Licensing is a problem with it. Licensing, it can either just go to one streaming service or it can go to a whole bunch of them. Take for instance, I'm just gonna say this and just the top of my head, the Bleach anime. There, you can watch the subs on Crunchyroll. You can watch the dub on Netflix and probably Hulu. I think you can only watch the movie on Netflix. And I think you can catch the movie dubbed by the original actors from the anime on Funimation.
Well, it's kind of the same thing with Lupin, I guess, because like I watch it on Crunchyroll, and you can get all 5 series on Crunchy, and you can get I think it's like 60 something. The first 60 something episodes of series 2 are dubbed in English when it came on Adult Swim.
Yeah, the Red Jacket.
Yeah, Red Jacket Lupin. You can get all 5 shows on Crunchy right there. On Hulu, for example, all you can get is Series 2, the Red Jacket. You can't get any of the other ones. And I have no idea how the rest are split up, but I imagine it's the same process. You have the licensing. Crunchy probably got a good deal, and they got all 5 series, which I'm glad.
Pretty much all those that we just said are solitary licenses. It only goes to one place, and that's probably it. What the anime community what the anime making community needs to do is actually make competitive licensing, where it goes everywhere, goes to everything imaginable, and they still get all the money for it. But they get stingy with it and just go with the most popular one.
I mean, I do kind of get that mindset though. Like, I understand, you own you want to get the best deal for this property. Well, we'll say, I'm just throwing names and numbers. I'm not saying this is indicative of anything. We'll say he could offer for the rights to the Lupin shows, while Netflix can only offer 20 million. That's just capitalism at work. Like, okay, we're gonna let Crunchy do it now. If Crunchy's okay with maybe after a year or 2 or something like that, Netflix gets it, or maybe Netflix only gets one. How what? I'm sorry.
Sort of how Rise of the Tomb Raider was.
I'm not into Tomb Raider, so you're gonna have to explain that one. Like, I know what it is. Interests me.
So Rise of the Tomb Raider was the sequel to the reboot.
Yeah.
Which was really, really good. But for the first year, it was Xbox exclusive.
Oh, yeah. Like, a lot of video games, like Call of Duty does that. Most of the time, it was always first on Xbox, and like this year, it was first on PlayStation. Because I guess they got the better deal.
Yep.
And yeah, it's usually, I don't think it's a year. Usually, I think it's like 3 to 6 months. And it's usually for the DLC, I think. But it's the same principle, yeah. Like, it's going to come out on this first for all of our fans that went and bought this machine first. You guys are going to get access to this first.
That's kind of how it is with, like, the official Gundam channel, too, is on YouTube, the episodes come out on there first, and they come out on Crunchyroll, like, a week later.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we should try to get back to our movie.
Yeah. Our circles get bigger and bigger.
Okay, so the Caso Cagliostro takes place during Part 1 Lupin, hence the green coat.
Definitely Part 1.
Yeah. Now a little bit of the thing about Lupin's coat. In the original manga made by Monkey Punch, it's supposed to be red no matter what. But for visual flair and to help differentiate the difference between the parts and seasons, the anime making community decided, hey, let's just make the coat a different color every season or so.
Yeah, because I know the first one is apparently green.
It's green, then red.
Two's red.
Then there's
blue.
the pink one.
Oh yeah, it was pink. 4 is blue.
4 and 5 are blue. Blue is the only one to have 2 seasons.
I like his blue coat though. Like I like Red Coat best. Like I just like that particular show, but I think the blue looks good on him. Now I know it's a cartoon character, but I'm just saying, like it suits his. It'd be like if Goku wore like a cape or something. It wouldn't look right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, let's go into Lupin the Third as a series before we go into the movie itself. Just a little brief recap of what it is. Pretty much Lupin the Third.
Okay, sorry. I was going to say, I have no prior experience to this show, so I'm excited to hear.
Pretty much what Lupin the Third is, he's supposed to be the great-grandson of the original Lupin.
No, he's just the grandson.
And yeah, it's the grandson. Yeah, it's the grandson of the great Lupin.
Mm-hmm. From which tying into Persona was the protagonist of Maurice LeBlanc's Gentleman Thief books. Arsène Lupin. Just tying that into Persona and Lupin Ranger. Yeah. But continue. I'm sorry, I did not mean to interrupt.
And
just wanted to interject.
Pretty much, he's living his grandfather's legacy by stealing for the fun of it. And boy, is he great at it. And
he really is. And I'm sorry, go ahead. I'll wait. Go ahead.
And a lot of the time, he's not only stealing from people, but also giving some of the ne'er-do-wells a lesson. And either some compassion or just common sense.
Quit being a bastard.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the high points of season 2, series 2 is he never stole from everyday people that it would actually hurt. He never really did anything evil. Like in the first show, he was actually a little bit more cold-blooded. Like he killed more. He still didn't rob from innocent people, do anything like that, but he was just a little colder. But like in series 2, he sort of kind of mellowed out, and he really only stole from like corrupt governments or rich asshole shit like that. And I like that he actually has a code of honor. Like, we'll get into this, but I'll just say right now, his code was Zenigata. Like, to me, that resonates with me just as a character. I like that they did that.
And that's actually a good transition because I'm not sure if this is the right term for it, but the antagonist of Lupin the Third is Zenigata. He's part of Interpol, and he's just the only man that he thinks that he can actually take on Lupin.
Yeah, it's sort of like no one can kill you but me. Nobody has that honor. Nobody has that ability. I respect you so much that we are adversaries, and we are the only ones that can do something to each other.
Yeah, and I think I've actually... And this has also appeared in other thief-like animes or even TV shows. I'm hinting at Lupin versus Pato. It's very much like that.
I need to watch that.
It's getting better from the first few episodes that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
I love the aesthetic of all that, but getting back to Lupin the Third, Zenigata is just like the hero cop that you want to see try to succeed at one time. There is a few times where he actually does succeed, but then it immediately melted in his hands like chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's so sweet that this happened, but oh god, it's all over my hands and it is going everywhere. What the hell happened?
Like, just using that, I can give a prime example of that. It's episode 4 of the first series. Zenigata actually gets the better of him, legitimately. Hits him with the tranquilizer dart. They put Lupin in prison. And I'm kind of going to spoil this episode. It's not really any big spoilers because, like, it's a very just episodic show.
Yeah.
Lupin spends a whole year in prison doing this crazy shit. And he had a plan the whole time. He escapes 20 minutes before he is supposed to be executed and tells Zenigata to his face, I could have escaped any time I wanted to, but I wanted to teach you a lesson. I wanted you to have this and lose it at the last moment, like you did to me 1 year ago. Now you have a choice. Either you electrocute the guy that you just put in that chair thinking it was me and let me walk out, or he dies and you get me. And of course they save the other guy, and it eggs all over Zenigata's face. But it's a prime example. Zenigata, he always gets like 90% there, and he always loses it at the very end. It's sort of like Wile E. Coyote in the road.
Yeah. And let's actually try to play up a little bit on Lupin's supporting cast.
Jigen, Goemon, Fujiko. Fujiko.
Let's go with Daisuke Jigen first. He is
the best sharpshooter in the world.
He is the best sharpshooter in the world. What was it, like point something seconds? Is his fastest time for holster to shoot?
I'd have to look it up, to be honest. I know he is the fastest.
I'm actually looking this up right now. Yeah, he can perform a 0.3 second quick draw.
That is fast.
Providing accuracy that borders on superhuman.
I know he can shoot another bullet out of the air with his quick draw.
Yeah.
But can he shoot 2 bullets with 1 bullet?
I think he actually has at one time.
He could shoot the first bullet like out of his gun, shoot it into the second one to knock them both into the third. I can see it happening.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, this
He's
guy.
good.
I was making a really obscure Devil May Cry reference, but god damn.
Yeah. His preferred weapon is a Smith & Wesson Model 19 combat revolver. But he's also pretty good with the PTRS anti-tank rifle.
I've seen him I've seen him just use his Smith & Wesson. I've seen him use sniper rifle quite a few times. So he seems to be very proficient with the sniper rifle as well.
Yeah, he is the gunman of Lupin III. Lupin's pretty good at shooting, but not as good as Jigen.
Yeah, he even admits that he's not nearly as good of a marksman as Jigen, even though Lupin's supposed to be one of the best in the world. Even he says he's not as good as Jigen.
Yeah, it's just I do at some point in the future want to cosplay as Jigen.
I've been on a Lupin kick ever since we did this. Like, I've always loved the show, but like since I watched the Castle Cagliostro, I was like, I kind of want to go back and watch the shows. And I have been just kind of on that, and I'm like, I really want to cosplay Lupin now.
Yeah, it's just.
I'm always down for a good group cosplay. I'm always down for a good group cosplay.
Yeah, we just need to find we just gotta find a convention center where it's equal distance from all of us.
Yeah, we're kind of all over.
What is it?
Have to be
Wisconsin, Arizona, Georgia, I think.
No, I'm Tennessee.
Tennessee.
And then we got Pennsylvania and New York, which they're kind of close together.
Yeah.
But we're all still pretty far apart.
Yeah.
So we should probably segue into the next character.
Yeah, next character is
Goemon.
Yeah, Goemon Ishikawa the 13th.
I think it's the 23rd. Isn't it the 23rd or is it the 13th?
13th. It's XII.
Why did I think it was the 23rd? What am I thinking 23 for?
As we said earlier, Jigen was the best firearms. This guy is the best swordsman.
His sword can cut anything.
Well, I mean, he is based off of, Goemon, the swordsman of legend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even just hearing the name, I kind of get that.
Goemon was primarily based on the character Kyuzo, the master swordsman of Akira Kurosawa's 1954 film Seven Samurai. From the role came Goemon's strict demeanor and fast draw blade, as well as the long-faced countenance of actor C.G. Miyaguchi.
Oh, yep.
And holy crap, this guy... What he means, he can cut anything. He can cut anything.
He's cut a tank in half. He's cut a flying helicopter plane in half. He cut a submarine in half one time.
He can
from bow to stern.
He can cut the clothes off you without damaging a single hair on you.
He's cut a tree in half without damaging the butterfly that was resting. The blade should have sliced through the butterfly because the tree cut in half right behind it, and it just fluttered off.
It goes under the swordsman rule of the swordman only lets the sword cut what he wants.
And that's very true for him.
Yeah. He's also done one of those things of he's cut the thing, it's completely normal until he puts the sword back into the sheath, and then it falls apart.
The most badass of sword maneuvers.
Yes. And it's one of his signature styles to use.
Being badass is definitely his signature.
The martial arts or swordsmanship with the sword is called the ryusei. But the sword itself is called the the
Zentetskin?
Yes, that.
Yeah. Honestly, seeing that from Final Fantasy, I pronounce it Zantetsuken. And actually, watching the anime and stuff like that, it's Zentetskin. And, like I said earlier, you learn something all the time.
Yeah, this guy is just unbelievable. He is one of my favorites. I might like Jigen more because he uses a gun, and I actually do prefer guns over swords.
See, I'm the opposite. Like, I like Jigen as a character. Like, I think he's... Well, I'm just swords for guns.
Huh.
Just as a rule of thumb.
And I prefer snipes.
Okay, the next character is Fujiko Mine, or Fujiko Mine. She is the femme fatale of the group, but kinda. She's not exactly on Lupin's side, nor is Zenigata's. She's kind of on her own side. We don't know what that side is, but it's definitely neither of the former that I said.
Yeah, she is definitely her own team. Like, what I mean by that is pretty much what you said. Like, she works with Lupin in the game to get what she might want, but...
It's a means to an end.
It is, and they all know that she's going to betray them, and they still just walk right into it. Yeah. Or at least Lupin does, because we know what he's thinking with.
He's thinking with the wrong head, that's it.
He sure is. Every time.
Yeah, one of her favorite weapons to use is a Browning M1910. And a Browning M1910. It's usually holstered in her garter. She's revealed to have superb martial arts skills, capable of rendering an attacker twice her weight unconscious with a single blow. She is extremely good at disguises. You can speak dozens of foreign languages, including her native Japanese. She's also really good with vehicles. Land, sea, or air. She does.
Honestly, it seems like they're all pretty good. Consistently drive was Goemon, but that's probably just because of his samurai ways.
Yeah, and she's usually being seen on a Kawasaki motorcycle.
Yeah.
And as of the 2012 anime series implies, heavily, by the way, she's bisexual. I'm reading this off of the Wikipedia.
Well, we gotta take it as fact. Wikipedia would never lie.
I mean, that's kind of cool, though. I mean, the only bisexual character in animation I can think of at the top of my head is Harley Quinn.
Who?
Is she technically bisexual now, or would she just be lesbian? Because, I mean, I know she was with the Joker, but, like, I thought she started only dating women.
I mean, she's still bi, but she loves Ivy.
She does love Ivy.
They got married
Harley Quinn.
Talk about Harley Quinn.
I didn't hear that part. It cut out on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got married to Ivy in the Injustice universe.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of the entire Lupin cast. Everybody else is movie exclusive, which we should actually get to talking about because we've already hit that 1 hour mark.
Wait.
Grab your popcorn.
Did we actually talk about Lupin yet?
Yeah, we did. He was like the first. Yeah, we talked about him at the beginning. About his code of honor. And we kind of sprinkled in some other facts.
We were talking. Okay, I thought we were doing like I just got a little messed up. I thought we were doing like an overview and just talking about this is okay, continue.
A little bit of both actually, but the Castle of Cagliostro, a lot of great people were working this. Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah, he got his start on Lupin. He started on the first series.
Yeah. And
I think it was 4 or 5 episodes in is they fired the other guy and brought him in, and then he animated and directed the last episode of the second series, and you can definitely tell it's him.
Yeah, and this is just there's some other ones produced by Tetsuo Katayama. I have no idea what else, but I don't see any page on him, so
he's a nobody.
Yeah. This movie was released back in December 15th of 1979. The budget was 500 million yen, and it made a box office drop of 600 million.
That's not bad.
No,
not really. It's not surprising. It was a success.
And worldwide, $7.82 million.
That's better.
I mean, it's very well animated. Like, it's clean. It you can tell, it's not rushed. It looks really just Miyazaki stuff always just has this real kind of beautiful, almost fantasy look to it. Like, I know I'm speaking the obvious, but like almost like an otherworldly feel. Even though
the shading also really pops out at you too.
What's that?
Miyazaki's shading pops out at you.
Oh, it does.
It's like you're looking more like you're like an animated 3D image in a sense.
I mean, that's not wrong. No, that's a good way to say it.
So, going into a little bit of the plot, I'm just going to read like the first paragraph or so. And it's September 1968. Master Thief Arsene Lupin III and his colleague Daisuke Jigen flee the Monte Carlo casino with huge quantities of stolen money. And they escape into this little tiny car.
Their car is so small in this movie. It's hilarious.
It's a Fiat 500. It's an actual car.
Mm-hmm.
Those cars were made from 1957 to 1975. Single generation and a two-door saloon and two-door station wagon body styles. But yeah, this thing is super tiny. I'm surprised they were able to get all the money in them and themselves in there with cups of ramen.
They did, though.
But unfortunately, all that money were high-quality counterfeits. So they decided to dump it out on the nearest highway.
Sounds reasonable. I've tried to say reasonable and logical, and I was going to say reasonable.
And just taking a random guess of where it was in the nearby country of Cagliostro. It's this little tiny, really tiny little spot of land that has it's pretty much its own country.
I can't remember if they actually explicitly said in this movie. Isn't this set, like, I know it's in that country, but isn't that country like a small border country of Italy? Didn't they say it was near Italy?
Yeah, it's like near Italy.
Okay, because like I couldn't remember if they said it, but I remember I just got a real like Italian country.
Yeah, it's definitely somewhere in Italy. Probably near the upper calf of Italy. Because it looks like a boot.
It does look like a boot.
And on their way into the country, after going by a border patrol in a very good disguise and fake passports, they see a bride running off in a car, being followed by a bunch of masked men. And of course, a really, really good choreographed car chase happens.
Mm-hmm.
In a Fiat 500.
And it took some damage. Like it did not come out of the same way it went into it.
No, but it definitely had horsepower to actually ride up the side of a wall.
Yeah, and then it rode through the forest.
Yeah, and lost the windshield.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, they fend off the bride's pursuers as she tries to go off a cliffside. Lupin goes in and tries to capture the dame and shoots out a grappling hook in his wristwatch.
His watch grappler.
Where the crank for it is in his belt. I'm just wondering at the mechanics of that. Is there like some kind of piping that he has? That's just like it doesn't cause any tearing or rope burn, and it's almost piano wire too.
I would imagine, yeah, it was definitely something like piano wire, but you know, it seemed like he did it rather slow, so I don't imagine there'd be enough friction to burn him. Like, I'm trying to figure out, he might have to use some kind of small piping for maybe a cut, because it's so small it might cut him like a knife. But that's the only thing I thought about that, because I kind of thought the same thing, seeing the little thing in his belt and then it's coming out of his watch.
And apparently the runaway bride is the princess of Cagliostro, who was trying to run away from her uncle or something like that.
That sounds about right.
And well, he's just known as the Count. I don't exactly remember if they actually gave the guy a name. I
I can't remember either, to be honest, because I know they called him the Count a lot. He was the Count of it.
The runaway bride is Clarice di Cagliostro, and the Count is Lazare di Cagliostro. So it's like an uncle or something.
Yeah, I don't know if they called him that in the movie or if that's just from the...
That's from the Wikipedia.
The credits. Oh, no, I just mean in the movie, because I don't know if they ever used his first name or not.
I don't think they did. I don't think they did.
And as they return her to the castle, they kind of shoo off Lupin and Jigen. They go to the local bar and say, "Hey, what's up with this place? It's a little bit more festive than usual. Spaghetti, please." And they're like, "Oh, the princess is back from studying abroad, and she's getting married to the count." It's a bit of a shame, though. She's kind of young. He's kind of old.
Ew.
And her uncle.
Incest is gross.
Yeah, but
Incest is gross.
It's kind of a royal thing. He thought it would be protecting the royal lineage, but that's not what the count was actually after. He already has control over the land, is what I'm saying. But he has also got more than that. He's got a printing press. He's been the one...
Oh, he's got multiple printing presses.
Yeah. And also, what's the secrets of Cagliostro itself? I'm not going to spoil that because that is just a sight to see for yourself. It
really is. Like, I wasn't expecting it. That's all I'll say, is I wasn't expecting it.
It's a real humdinger.
It is.
Yeah. And of course, there's like a whole bunch of sneaky hijinks, and it's just all great.
And I love how the movie even... God, what was it? It was, what, hour and a half? Close to 2 hours?
It's a 100-minute movie.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like hour 40. Okay. It does encapsulate all of their different specialities within the movie.
Yeah,
like it shows that how everybody does their thing and does it well.
Yeah, it's like if you don't have time to watch the entire series, watch the movie.
It would definitely be a good entry point.
This is my first actual experience to Lupin the Third, so I enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to be checking out more.
Yeah,
it's definitely worth it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's just imagine seeing this movie in theaters.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah, and actually here's some fun news about some.
I mean, to go off on a tangent, but technically we could rent out a theater for like $100 for like an hour and a half and watch it there.
Yeah, I could. I'm not. But here's some interesting facts about the English production of this. There are 2 versions of this movie in English.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
There's one that was done by Streamline Pictures in 1991. That's the one where Lupin is going to be often referred as the Wolf.
That's actually the one I watched.
Me too.
Same.
Because that's the one that Netflix has a hold of. They got the 1991 version.
Let me interrupt real fast. Give me 5 seconds here.
Boop, 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 boop.
I know. I'm sorry. This will be good if it's what I think it is. Barbara Goodson, Rita Repulsa from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Was young Clarice.
Was young. I did not catch that. I just saw it on here. It's like, Barbara Goodson? I did not catch that watching this. I'm ashamed of myself.
Yeah. And of course, this movie got released again 9 years later in 2000 by Anime's Manga Entertainment. With Lupin the Third being portrayed by Sheen Barker. I have no idea who that is.
I clicked on his name. He's actually done a lot of video games and background movie acting. Like,
okay, I clicked on Shane Barker, and it brought me to David Hayter.
I'm thinking that's his stage name, Sean. Because it did the same with me. Like, he's apparently the voice of Solid Snake in 1998's Metal Gear Solid, at least. Just looking at his career.
Anime. It says right here, Shane Barker was a stage name of his.
Yeah.
See, I would actually like to hear that appearance. Wait, he was also Captain America in the 90s?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at too. He was Captain America in Spider-Man the Animated.
Wow. But yeah.
He was Snake in Smash Brothers Brawl. Talking about Smash Brothers again. and Smash Bros Ultimate, because he comes back as Snake.
Really?
Yep.
Well,
I'm gay.
Is that all we can say about Lupin the Third, Castle Cagliostro?
I think we did hit the high points of it. Well animated. It's a nice. I don't want to say it's a popcorn movie, because it's when you sit down, you definitely get into it and enjoy it.
Well, look, this is my first, actual experience with Lupin the Third, and I fucking enjoyed the fuck out of it.
I mean, it does. It encapsulates the heart of the series well, like what you would get out of watching it.
Yeah, even the newer seasons still have a little bit of that heart and soul and little creative lesson giving that Lupin the Third has.
I mean, they even managed to shoehorn in the Zenigata Lupin friendship with remember the helicopter or the auto gyro plane, whatever. It seemed like a helicopter.
Yeah, it's like, do you know how to fly this thing? Not exactly, but here, you give it a try, Zenigata. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do this. Oh no!
But he still manages to do it.
Yeah, he still manages to do it.
The only thing I wish, and this is a personal preference, it's just because what I'm used to. I wish they could have got the voices from the second show, which this technically came out first, so I know it's not possible. It just would have made it pretty much perfect for me if I could have had the voices that I'm used to. But that's a personal thing. I'm not counting that against the movie.
They were in disguise.
He did use his Zenigata disguise in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was towards the beginning. Yeah.
It was like, you idiot! That was Lupin the Third with all the guards.
And I love how he just does it so perfectly. Well, I honestly do think at least I have.
Yeah, same here.
I said my piece on it. Like, I really enjoyed it. I love the Lupin series as a whole. This didn't disappoint.
Oh, it never does.
It was a lot of fun, especially for this being my first, Lupin experiences. It was really, really fun.
And you could get all this and more from any streaming service. Actually, you can't get all the episodes through Verve.
Really?
No, some of them you can get like the latest 2 seasons that came out, and maybe part 2, but you can't get part 1 or part 3.
3 is honestly, I think it's the weak point for me.
Yeah, because
I did not think 3 was as good as the other.
No, it wasn't.
It's not bad by any means, but it's just not as good. I don't know what it was. It's definitely the weakest for me.
But to end off today's podcast, let's look to the future and seeing what we're going to review next week, if that.
What did we decide on?
The Turbo's Power Rangers movie and Gundam Build Fighters.
Power Rangers Turbos. Well, it's time to shift into Turbo.
Come on. Hey, if it wasn't for that movie, I wouldn't be here hosting this podcast for you guys.
Wait, Turbo is what got you into this?
Yes, I said this before.
I don't remember you saying it was Turbo.
It was a Turbo movie.
Well, it could be worse. I'll say that.
I will elaborate more when we get to the review.
Tune in next Sunday.
Okay?
I was an idiot kid.
How old was I when Turbo came out? What was that? What was Turbo? 98?
I'm casually putting in the stuff now.
No, I think it might have been 97.
All I know.
Yeah. No, it was 98. It had to be 98.
Yeah, Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, was released in 1997.
Well, damn, I was close. I thought it was 98 for some reason.
If you wanted to know exact scores for this movie, 3.5.
Out of
10.
5 or 10?
10.
Well,
16% on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, okay. And that's another thing that you probably didn't know about. The budget for that movie was $8 million.
God, how much of that went to JDFC go?
What movie is our Toku-based topic for next week was Gundam Build Fighters episodes 1 through 5.
By the time we do that, I will be on my week-and-a-half Christmas vacation. Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, it's one of the few perks of my job. I get 2 weeks in the summer and a week and a half in the winter.
I can send you guys the links for, the Gundam Build Fighters because there's 2 seasons and.
Well, what did we say? The first 5 episodes?
First 5 episodes.
Okay.
There's an English dub, so you can, listen to it in the background if you need to.
Let me throw in a completely unrelated. Pissed me off this week. I hate Goblin Slayer. I watched the first episode of that piece of garbage. I will never watch that show again.
I don't blame you. I
put it in the chat one morning.
Yeah, I did see that. I can understand your frustration. A lot of that. There was a lot of gore in that.
A lot of gore, a lot of rape. Ugh.
It's not just that. There's it kind of over-sexualized it too. There's a thing where, tell don't show being important is kind of a thing.
See, they could have just said those things. And honestly, it probably would have carried the same way. Like, oh, these guys are a joke. Oh, no, they had to animate it in minute detail.
Oh, yes, there's also the whole positioning of certain things as well. Like,
I'm just going to say the whole cave. Just no. And I will never watch that show again.
The manga's more tasteful.
I'm not doing that towards you. I'm just doing that towards anything related to this franchise. I just wanted to interject that so everybody knows that I hate Goblin Slayer.
Okay, so
I don't like it either.
All right, so just pretty much wrap this up to get where we are getting our sources from. As we said earlier, we're getting Build Fighters from YouTube for free, by the way.
Officially for free.
We applaud you, YouTube.
And here's where we reverse our claps. Somehow. Yeah. Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, is on YouTube.
The whole movie?
The whole movie
What?
for $4.
I might procure it by a different means. I'm not.
It's also on.
Movie.
It's also on Amazon Prime.
I don't have Prime.
Google Play.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had to pay for that too.
Yep, $4.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll fall into my lap somehow.
And some streaming service called Vudu.
Oh yeah, there's a thing for that on my PlayStation. I've never downloaded it. I just see the little picture for it to prompt me to get it.
It's not bad, but not worth it.
And I could probably find it on AnyDex somewhere.
I'm just gonna watch it on my DVD copy because I have like 3 copies of it.
Can I have a copy?
What, are you trying to make a toilet out of them?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I just don't like the movie. I'm sorry. I mean, we're going into next week already. Like this movie.
I'll go into more detail next week, but it's like really funny how I have 3 copies of this. I have also 3 copies of Zombieland. I have 3 copies of the Scooby-Doo movie. I have 4 copies of Shrek. I don't know how I got any of them.
Hey, Shrek's good. I'm not even against Scooby-Doo. I thought, at least the first one, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, for what it was.
At some point, where I'm going to make it one of my topics, of course, but there's a there's actually like a PG-13/rated R cut of the film that exists somewhere.
Of Shrek or Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Doo.
Oh, okay. Because I thought I was like,
Daphne
really?
and Velma were supposed to be lesbians. Fred was supposed to be gay, and Shaggy and Scooby were supposed to be like openly stoners.
Are you sure you didn't watch this on Tube Gore?
No, this is an actual thing.
Yeah,
that exists.
It's a porn joke.
But before we keep going on with our conversations, we should probably end the podcast here.
So girls are like onions. We've got layers.
So tune in possibly next week for our coverage of Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, and the first 5 episodes of Gundam Build Fighters.
Also, don't forget your popcorn because we go on forever.
Yeah. Make sure you got plenty to drink and munch on, as you can tell from our previous podcasts.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah. So, good night, everyone. Take care.